Welcome back to my YouTube channel. A big shout out to all my new and returning subscribers. Thanks for being there. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this lovely frame purse. It's a wooden frame purse, and guys, this tutorial is detailed. Make sure you watch till the end to get the full details. To start with, we're going to measure our frame. We need the inner length of the frame. So guys, I'm going to start from 1.5, that's 6 inches inside my frame. You have to know how to measure your frame in case if we're using different frame size. So first of all, you measure the inner space of your frame just like I did earlier. So moving on, I use 10 inches for my width, and I'm using 15 inches for my height and bottom of my bag. Next, I'm going to divide the height into 3 places. We're going to divide it into the front, back, and the bottom. So I'm going to be using 5.75 for the front and the back of the bag, and the bottom of our bag is going to be 3.5 inches. So we're going to make slanted line from the top to where our base line starts. I'm going to be using 1.75 inches by both sides. So guys, we're going to be left with 6.5 inches in the middle. And also remember, our inner frame was 6 inches. I added extra 0.5 inch for the sewing allowance at both sides. So I'm going to be sewing with 0.2 inches at both sides. That's how I derived 6.5 inches at the top. We're going to do that to the top and the bottom side of our body pattern. So guys, now our pattern is ready. I'm going to test it with my frame to make sure it's gonna fit. It's gonna be a little bit bigger because of the sewing allowance, but you can just check that out with your frame. So we're going to use our pattern to cut out our fabric. I'm going to mark it out and I'm going to cut it. Interface our body. We're going to be using Decovy Light. You can use any Decovy Light interfacing of choice, but don't use bud light interfacing. So guys, I'm going to draw out a sketch on my interfacing. I'm going to apply my gum and I'm going to interface the body of my bag. Using my rollers to press in place, then I'm gonna trim off all the excess. Guys, that's all set now. Next, we're going to transfer the lines on our pattern to help us install our bottom stud. So guys, you can also measure it directly, but I find it faster using my pattern to transfer the lines. We're going to measure 1 inch by 1 inch from the baseline to get the point for our purse fit. We're going to measure it at all 4 sides, and I'm going to punch through the points the lines made. Moving on, next we're going to cut the side of our bag. I'm going to measure through the length of the shaped part of my body pattern like I just did. It's going to help us to get the measurements for the side of our bag. So So guys, after measuring, I got 15.5. Next, we're going to take our frame and we're going to measure the space at the side in between. So guys, I'm starting my tape rule from 1 all the way to the end of the space by the side. So guys, I got 4.9 inches. Next, we're going to be sketching out the shape for the side of our bag. So guys, we're going to be using, for the width of the bag, I added 0.5 inch, that's 1/2 inches allowance for both side edges for the sewing allowance. So I'm going to be using 1/4 sewing allowance at both sides edge. So I added 0.5 to the measurement we got earlier from the side of our frame to get 5.4 inches. And for the height, I used the same height we used for our bag, which is 5.75 inches. So guys, I'm trying to illustrate all the measurements and how I got them, in case if you are working with a different frame size. The length of your bag could be the same with mine, depending on how long you want it. It doesn't really matter much, but the width of your bag will be determined by the size of your frame. So we're going to slant the side panel of our bag. So guys, for the bottom side, we're going to make sure we have 3.5, which is also the same with the base of our main panel. So guys, I'm going to mark out 0.95 at both edges and make my slanted line, so I'll be left with 3.5 inch at the bottom side of my side panel. Next, I'm going to measure around my side panel pattern to make sure I have the same measurements I have with my main panel. I trace that out on our fabric. I'm going to cut 2 of that. Guys, we're gonna interface our side panel. I'm also using Decovy Light for this. I'm gonna trace it out, apply gum, and interface both side panels. Guys, we're gonna sew the side of our bag to the body of our bag, so you can clip it all around in place, but I prefer sewing mine from the center. I'm gonna make a small notch at both sides, then I'm going to start my stitching from the center all the way up. Repeat the same process to the second side of our bag. Now we're done sewing the exterior part of our bag. So guys, before we move on, I'm going to check out my bag on the frame to make sure it fits perfectly. This is very important too, so you don't have to lose and go backward later on. So if your bag is wider than your frame, you can easily reduce it and make it fit perfectly before moving on to the lining. So guys, my frame fits my bag perfectly, so I'm going to move straight up into the lining process. For our lining, we're going to use the same pattern we used to cut out our exterior to cut out our lining fabric. Next, for our slip pocket, I'm going to be using 5 inches for the width and 3 inches for the height. I cut that out on a board-like interfacing. You can use your chipboard or your cardboard Decovit. Next, we're going to wrap it. I'm going to apply glue at the side and top edge, and I'm going to wrap it with my lining. After that, I'm gonna rub some gum on top the wrapped area, and I'm gonna close it up with the other side and trim off the excess lining. Next, we're going to sew our slip pocket to our lining. I'm going to measure 2 inches from the top. I'm going to center it at the side. Then I'm going to hold it with my clips and I'm going to stitch the side and bottom edge with 1/8 sewing allowance. Next, we're going to sew the side to the lining. I'm going to notch the middle point and I'm going to stitch the side to the lining with 3/8 sewing allowance. So guys, now we're done sewing our lining. We're going to place it inside the exterior of the bag and make sure they fit in perfectly. So we're going to interface the bottom of our bag. For the bottom interfacing, I'm using 9.5 inch by 3.2 inches. You can use your board like interfacing Deco-V Heavy for the bottom of the bag. So I'm going to apply gum on the interfacing and at the bottom of my bag, and I'm going to interface the bottom of my bag. Next, we're going to punch through our purse fit holes that we made earlier, and I'm going to install my purse fit. So we're going to cut out board papers to make it easy to install our frame. This is optional, but it makes it easier when installing your frame. I'm measuring my frame, the parts without the curve. So for the top, I'm going to be using 5 inches, and we're going to cut 2 of that. Then for the side, I'm going to use 1.5 by 0.3 inches. For the side, we're going to cut 4 for the side and 2 for the top. So I'm going to attach it. I'm going to gum it to the edge of my lining. After gumming the board to the lining, we're going to gum our lining to our exterior, to the exterior of the bag. So I'm going to put gum at the top slightly, and I'm going to gum them together and clip it in place. Guys, now we're coming to the end of our bag. If you're yet to click on the subscribe button, please do so you can get more updates from me. And guys, lastly, we're going to install our frame. We're going to install the frame of our bag. So to install the frame of our bag, we're going to apply glue to the tip of our frame and to the edges of our bag. Have to be so careful. I would advise you use gum or P6000. So I applied gum in the middle of my frame, the middle spacing of my frame. Apparently it's off camera. After that, I also applied gum at the edge of my bag, at the top edge and on top of my bag. Now I'm installing my frame. I'm using a flat mouth screwdriver to tuck in the edges of my bag inside my frame. You're going to make sure it's properly tucked in. Lastly, we're going to screw in our screws through the frame. I'm using my screwdriver to screw my screws into the purse frame. Finally guys, our frame purse is ready. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you are yet to click on the subscribe button, make sure you do so you can get more updates from me. And guys, see you in my next video. Have a lovely day ahead.